What's going on there, YouTube world? Austin Lewis here, coming to you guys with another YouTube video. And in this video, as you guys saw in the title and in the thumbnail, the answers to this entire video are going to behold the secrets of is cash dead? Now, obviously, with all of the current epidemics and pandemics that have been happening, cash has decreased significantly. But in this video, I'm going to be debunking some of your thoughts, some of your opinions on if cash is dead or is it still alive? Ladies and gentlemen, before we start this entire video, I just want you to make sure that you sit back, relax, smash the thumbs up button because it helps the YouTube algorithm share this with more individuals. And if you haven't already, make sure and comment if your thought on cash is dead or is it still alive. And we'll see by the end of this video if your opinion has changed or if it still remains the same. Just to give you guys some quick statistics, in India in the 2000s, the right around cash transactions was actually 59%, to in 2016 being right around 30% in India. In China, cash was used 63%, and in 2016 it was down to a whopping 11% in cash transactions. But some really interesting things is that in Germany, about 60% of transactions today are cash. In fact, they say the average person in this country of Germany has right around 52 euros in their pockets at all times. You know, some of you guys might be asking, why would I pay in cash, or what are other individuals doing paying in cash? And Cash has actually found a very simple and very easy way to actually track expenses, where when you and I go to the clubs, or you and I go out and eat a restaurant, or you and I are going shopping, it is that much easier to go ahead and slide our debit, go ahead and slide our credit card, rather than handing over that crisp, clean Benjamin Franklin. Or obviously in other countries, it happens to be their money. But you guys get my point. On top of that, the transaction is quick, it's easy, it's simple. Therefore, they're not stuck sliding their debit card in, putting in their PIN, making sure the process goes through. It actually increases speed time of buying or purchasing your guys' product or service. Now, obviously in this video, we're gonna be talking about cash transactions, but one thing I do want to share with you guys is the fact that something I really want each and every single one of you guys to listen and understand is my concern isn't so much for cash. My concern is actually for the debit cards or the credit cards. The reason that I am actually scared for what is going to happen to particularly your debit cards, because there's really no incentive to use a debit card, is the fact that in 2004 became a way to pay with your cell phone. Like I was saying, in 2004, cell phones emerged with China to make Alipay, which allowed you to make or pay for your Starbucks coffee or your burrito with what was called Alipay, aka your smartphone. That way, that person actually didn't have to take out their debit card and put it into that little chip reader and call it a day. As of 2013, China was the largest market for smartphones, e-commerce, and online games with more than 600 million users. Ladies and gentlemen, that is twice the size of the United States of America. Therefore, a lot of individuals actually think that the main threat is not so much cash, but the main threat happens to be debit cards based on mobile optimized payments. And then obviously you guys know in 2014 launched Apple Pay. Obviously currently only 8% of individuals actually use Apple Pay or online payments, but there's gonna be two reasons that those numbers completely staggeringly increase. One of the first reasons is consumers just appreciate a mobile payment. They appreciate the convenience of going onto their smartphone, doing the double tap Face ID, and cha-ching. That place has their money, you have yours, no receipt, you walk away. And again, with the mobile payment, there's that convenience that you actually don't have to put in your keypad or your PIN on that keypad. Therefore, it saves time, it is more efficient, and in 2020, that is ultimately all we care about: efficiency and time. In sum, the obsolescence of a bank card is just a matter of due time. Now, obviously back to cash. And one thing I want to really bring it back down to for you guys is the fact that, I remember being a little kid, and maybe you guys watching this video obviously understand this and remember this time where, when our parents were given $20, I'm 25 years old, when my parents was given $25 in their era actually went pretty far. Where when I was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, $20 also got me, decently far. I was able to, go ahead and put $10 in my gas tank at the gas station. And not only was I able to do that, I was able to take the remaining $10 and go to Taco Bell, enjoy myself a meaty burrito for $4.59. And then I was able to take that extra couple bucks and pick up an energy drink or a bottle of water at QT. But nowadays in 2020, $20 doesn't really get you that far. In fact, $20 will get you one of the nicest, most incredible lollipops at your local QT. Now, a lot of you guys are saying, Austin, debit cards and credit cards are going to push cash away, and that, frankly, is actually not the answer. The answer is not debit cards or credit cards are going to push cashless transactions away. It is not going to happen. The only thing that would ever happen on pushing cashless away is the fact that they figure out ways to make mobile payments more friendly, more available to the individuals of different generations. Now, obviously, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, and I don't believe that debit cards are gonna wipe out cash. I think cash is going anywhere has been a topic of conversation for many years now at this point, and that's something to take a look at and something to understand. Now, one thing you guys see when our current epidemic is right now, a lot of businesses are actually taking cash. So the amount of ATM surcharges have drastically increased. And the reason being are for multiple different reasons. One, they are able to write off less money on as they are claiming, which I'm not saying is right or wrong, obviously. Speak with your accountant on that. But a lot of businesses are taking cash at this current moment because of the simplicity of the transaction. We're at a due time that it is almost necessary to take cash inside your barbershop or inside your restaurant for the convenience of time. Now, I'm gonna elaborate for you guys and share with you guys why cash is actually not that great. Cash is not easy to manage. Now, obviously, if you guys can just put yourself in a business owner's shoes and he owns a bar or a restaurant and he has all sorts of cash incomes, one thing that you are gonna have to understand and realize is you are gonna have to have extra cash on you to be able to pay back the difference of whatever that is. Now, obviously, if you own a bar, if you're in a barbershop or someplace like that, then understanding that you'll have to have a lot of ones and a lot of fives and a couple of tens just simply due to the fact that when people tip, they tip right around 12%, 12 to 15% of whatever that bill is. Another reason cash is semi-frowned upon in these industries in these current times is just due to the fact it is so much easier to rob people that have a ton of cash, that have a lot of cash because their entire business day was paid for in cash. Now, a lot of you guys might be asking, Austin, what is the risk to going cashless? Statistics released by Australian banks in 2019 show that the amount of time and increase in length and numbers of payment systems actually going down is substantial compared to the previous years. In 2018, the average length of disruptions in payment systems was right around 6.8 hours. Where in 2017, it was only 3.9 hours. And in 2016, it was 3.2 hours. When you increase this and increase the amount of sales that is happening online in 2020, the potential loss for sales is almost alarming. That, however, is why I don't think these merchants will ever rely on their merchant, their payment processor, to continue to take payments. Because the second they go down, what are they going to do? They are going to become cash. And just to give you guys an idea of where America stands, they actually did a 1,000 people survey where right around 37% of individuals actually said they prefer cash transactions rather than they do debit or credit cards. You know, guys, my mom, bless her soul, she every single week when she goes grocery shopping on Saturdays, yours might do this too, she pulls out $400 cash and expects to spend that $400 cash every single week. 37% out of 1,000 people, 37% still support, approve, and prefer a cash transaction. And something I found very staggering is only 22% of Americans actually think that the credit card is their preferred spending. Now, obviously, you guys know that the risk of sliding your debit or credit card, the chances of having fraud is substantially increased versus paying with a cash transaction. Now, obviously, to break down those percentages even more for you guys, around 36% of individuals prefer debit cards. Credit cards was at a staggering 22%. Digital payment apps were right around 4 to 8%. And to give you guys some age ranges, the individuals from age 13 to 17, roughly about 52% of them said that they prefer cash transactions versus debit transactions. In ages 55 to 64 years old, around 39% of those individuals would prefer cash transactions. Now, the interesting market is age 25 to 34, and that happens to be right around 32 to 33% of those of us prefer to actually be cash transactions. Ladies and gentlemen, I find it very staggering and very interesting on the fact that people thought that a debit card was going to wipe out the cash transaction, and the current epidemic or pandemic that we're going through right now was going to wipe out the cash transaction, when in all reality, that's the total opposite of what it is going to do. I think you guys are going to see a lot more cash transactions in the future. I do not think cash is dead. I do not believe cash is dead. I believe that these results and these statistics are very staggering with how many people actually truly silently prefer to do cash transactions. I'll be honest with you guys, for tax purposes, I love the credit card, but for debit service, I typically don't ever use my debit card. However, I will use cash, and when I do use cash, I save my receipts. Therefore, I can write off those specific business meals for taxes. Now, obviously, as you guys see, 32 to 33% of individuals from 25 to 34 actually prefer cash transactions. And business owners now understand that with the amount of hours that they're able to go down every single day or every single week or every single month, that they don't want that to affect their business. Therefore, they are always going to be allowing cash transactions. Therefore, they will always be staying in business. Therefore, they will always never slow down and be a convenience to their customers. Ladies and gentlemen, cash is not dead. Cash is still alive. Cash is going to continue to develop and grow over time, and I'm excited to see where it goes in the next decade. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't already, make sure and smash the thumbs up button on this video. If you haven't already, make sure and go subscribe to me if you guys are brand new here. Austin Lewis here. Go check out some of my other videos. I actually also have the A&A Show. My partner and I created the A&A Show, where we interview incredible guests: Josh Snow, Caleb Maddox, at Joey on Instagram. All sorts of incredible individuals that are on that platform. Go check that out. Again, thank you guys for staying tuned to the very end of this video. I appreciate you guys saying we'll see you guys in the future videos.